Welcome to the Fantasy Addiction Network. This is week 14 waiver wire wide receivers. So today we're going to be talking about the top 5 wide receiver pickups for the waiver wire this week. At number 5, we're going to start with Lazard. 5% owned in Yahoo leagues, wide receiver for the Packers. Really good play against Washington this week if you absolutely need a flex play. I'm not recommending starting him right now. We're still assuming rational coaching with Matt LaFleur, which hasn't really panned out too well. It's pretty obvious from watching the Packers play that Lazard is the best receiver outside of Devontae Adams. Allison and Vontaze Scantling aren't very good. Everyone else is either hurt or not very good. So Lazard should be Rodgers' number 2 target, but they've continued to use Allison and MVS all year, so this is kind of a wait and see play. If you pick him up, I would put him on your bench. I wouldn't start him this week. If he blows up again, he still has to play Chicago and Minnesota, which haven't proven to be the worst matchups against wide receivers. So if Lazard has 2 good weeks in a row, then I'd be comfortable with starting him. So this is a good stash play. Number 4, we have Cobb, 36% owned in Yahoo leagues. This is another decent stash play, and if you absolutely need a flex this week against Chicago, it looks like Chicago has been much better at home, and Dallas, especially Amari Cooper, has been much worse on the road. So this is a okay week to flex him because it looks like Cooper will probably get shut down again in Chicago. So Cobb might end up having a decent game. And then Cobb plays Philly in week 16 in what should be a divisional showdown, which they'll definitely need him. So I think Cobb is a decent play this week and a good stash for week 16. So at number 3, we have Robbie Anderson, 57% owned. Probably not out there in a lot of leagues, but if he is a smash play this week against the Miami Dolphins, who are horrible in every facet of defense. I recommend starting Sam Darnold this week. I also recommend starting Robbie Anderson if you can get that stack. Nice 1-2 punch for your lineup in your first week of the playoffs. Great. And then much like Sam Darnold, as soon as this week is over, dump him right back to the waiver wire, let someone else pick him up, and be frustrated with the remaining schedule of the Ravens and the Steelers. All right, so at number 2, we have 32% owned Cole Beasley. This one's a little bit interesting play. I feel like a lot of people have ignored what Cole Beasley has been doing because he's Cole Beasley. The last couple weeks he's scored right around 20 fantasy points in PPR leagues, and coming up he has not a great schedule. He's playing Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and New England, so all of those are top 10 defenses that are strong against the receiver. But with that being that Cole Beasley is the slot play, those defenses will focus on shutting down John Brown. The last 2 weeks where Cole Beasley scored a lot of points, where he played the Cowboys and the Broncos. Cowboys and Broncos focused on shutting down John Brown, and Cole Beasley was wide open in the slot. So playing against tougher defenses might actually be a good thing for Cole Beasley going forward. If he's out there, I pick him up. He's worth a flex start. If nothing else, I think he is a guaranteed 10 points a week for PPR leagues, which isn't great, but it's better than getting a dud. And he'll finish probably as a wide receiver 3 each week for the rest of the year. And then number 1, if he's out there, 25% owned in Yahoo leagues, that means he's out there in a lot of leagues, AJ Brown. He didn't do too great this week against the Colts, but the Colts are pretty good at shutting down the receivers. But going forward against Oakland, Houston, and New Orleans, AJ Brown is going to be a good play rest of the season, especially the next 2 weeks. He's not playing the shutdown corner against Oakland or Houston, and he's looked to be Ryan Tannehill's favorite target, who we've already discussed as a really good quarterback play the rest of the way. I'd look to see that AJ Brown could potentially have a touchdown in the next 2 games. If you need to start him against New Orleans, I think you could do worse than that, but playing against Marshawn Lattimore is not necessarily the best play. So AJ Brown is a really good play for week 14-15 and an okay play for week 16. But really, with the wide receiver landscape right now and the waiver wire being pretty barren, I think you could do not a lot worse than picking up AJ Brown. That's why he's my number 1 pickup this week. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one.